Hello, welcome to this series. It's called Nuzlocke Vlogs, where I play Pokemon and I talk about things in my life. And we're starting out Soulsilver today. How's my life going? Well, it's fucking cold. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna name myself that. Actually, no, I'll do the standard name I do in Pokemon games, which is, there. That's good. That's good. Yes. Yes. Oh god, it is cold. We have had like I'm just complaining about the weather, which is cliche, but like seriously, on Monday evening it starts snowing and wind and then all day Tuesday and like a foot of snow and then Wednesday it's nice and Sunday, but as I'm coming home from work, oh no. No, not again. No, don't start. Don't start snowing. And then started snowing again Thursday night and all day today. Supposed to go through tomorrow. Like, we're more than a foot at this point. Fucking stop. Like, if you're going to set the planet on fire with global warming and make us all slowly and painfully die, it's not fair that we also have to deal with snow sometimes. Like, that's mean. How about this one? Yes. And like part of the problem is I have to drive a lot of places for my job. I'm a reporter. I have to drive and cover things in various towns and just driving on slippery roads. Like I almost crashed my fucking car like coming home from work a few days ago. What is my thing? And then 6, which means fire, Cyndaquil. I'm okay with that. Like seriously, I'm pulling into my driveway and like I brake because it's gonna don't and I brake because I don't want to crash. H song is what I'm naming this Cyndaquil. So I brake and like my wheels they just like freeze up and I start sliding forward towards my mailbox. So naturally, I do the only sensible thing and scream at the top of my lungs, and then I stop a few inches from the mailbox, and I am okay. And that is my week. Um, so the other thing that we do in Nuzlocke Vlogs, we don't just play Pokemon, is we respond to comments on my main channel's YouTube videos. This comment from H Song, I want to make a joke about how this video one is the video one would make if possessed by a disgruntled Disney peasant. I'm really tired right now and don't know how to phrase it, so I'm commenting for engagement. This video was a banger. Yeah, sometimes I do that too, commenting for engagement when you're watching a smaller YouTuber, but they make something you really like, and that is on my Which Disney Princesses Deserve the Guillotine video. A video where I just go through all the Disney movies and talk about what Disney princesses deserve to just fucking get murdered. And the title is a bit clickbait because none of the Disney princesses get put on the chopping block and said to, alright, I gotta go talk to my fucking mother. That's boring. I didn't actually decide to kill any of the Disney princesses, but like most of the kings, like most of the people who actually have power and we get to see them rule, like just off with those fuckers' heads. I guess I am a disgruntled peasant. Actually, the a lot of peasants liked kings because they had like religious brainwashing propaganda about the king is supposed to be in charge because God says so. So do what the king says. It's good that he has all the money and power and goes to war and shit. Yeah, that was a good video. I enjoy that. That was so long. It was a lot of work. And I don't think I'm ever doing a video that long again. Or at the very least, not for a while, because I don't have the hard drive space. I physically cannot do a video of that size. Like I had to how I made that video is the individual like segments. I had segments for all the movies. I edited those separately and exported them, and I had just those on my computer. Deleted everything else I could. moved the files of those original segments over to a flash drive or a hard drive. I have like a spare hard drive, and then exported the individual segments. And even then, that's like 20 gigabytes. It is absolutely massive. This video about why Disney monarchs are fucking terrible. And my first big video of the year that I'm doing this year in 2024, like originally I was gonna just have it be one part, and then as I started writing, oh, this is going to be 2 maybe 3 hours. I am breaking this up into pieces. I don't have the time in my schedule to make a 3 hour video essay. And like I always wanted to do the politics of Batman, the big video essay I've been planning for like a year and a half at this point. I always wanted to do that as one video, but it's completely unfeasible. So I'm going to split into 5 videos. The first one going to come out in either the summer or the fall. So last time I like talking about how I've been having like writer's block, and I'm still having writer's block on like my real writing, like my books and stuff, but I got some video scripts done this week. I just sat down and I worked on getting things ready for this YouTube channel, which is good. Tomorrow I have a comedy skit coming out that I wrote this week that's parodying the Super Friends, and it's got a funny joke. It's you know what? This is a little sneak preview because my video, like my Nuzlocke videos, get much less views than my comedy videos. The joke in that one, it's called The Legion of Doom, gets a new member, and it's Lex Luthor is introducing to the Legion the guy he wants to add to the team, Captain Nazi, who is a real DC supervillain, he is exactly what you would think he would be, considering his name, Captain Nazi. And Riddler is like, Lex, you can't add Captain Nazi. Everyone's gonna call us Nazis. And Lex is like, whoa, Nazi? Who said Nazi? Like, that swastika on his chest, that could be a religious symbol. Who's the racist now, Riddler? Him! Fucking the Nazi guy. And the reason, what inspired that is for my Batman's Plans to Kill His Friends video, is I read through Infinite Crisis, all of it for that. Actually, I skipped the Ram Thanagar War because I didn't have any context for it and didn't seem interesting. But I read through Villains United. Didn't really have to do that, but it was in the book. And in Villains United, Lex Luthor, it's eventually revealed it's actually Alexander, but Lex Luthor and fucking Talia and Dr. Psycho and Black Adam, just a whole bunch of major supervillains, get together, calculators there, and they put together an army of evil. Like all the world's supervillains together on one team. They have like 200 members. And a few of them get sent after Deadshot and Scandal Savage and Catman because they don't want to join Lex's team. And like, either you're in or you're out, and if you're out, we're going to kill you. And like the guy they send to kill and torture them is Captain Nazi, the Captain Marvel villain. The guy with just a giant fucking swastika on his chest. They send Captain Nazi out there. And, like, that raises the question, like, wow, does no one have a problem with this? Is just all of DC's supervillains okay with working with a guy named Captain Nazi? Who his backstory is he's not even a fucking neo-Nazi. He's like an original model. He was cryogenically frozen during World War II. It's later revealed that he's immortal because he is the living embodiment of Nazism. Why are so many supervillains okay with working with this guy? And it's not just in Villains United that, like, because a lot of, like, the golden age of superheroes had a lot of comics taking place during World War II, and thus Nazi supervillains. And sometimes you see those villains be put in big villain crossovers. I think the most egregious example is in Phineas and Ferb. They had a Phineas and Ferb Avengers crossover, and this is the Apricorn guy, not the other guy. But in the Phineas and Ferb Avengers crossover, like, well, I mean, Captain America's rival should team up with Phineas and Ferb's bad guy, so Dr. Doofenshmirtz teams up with the Red Skull and, okay, are you sure? Like, Heinz Doofenshmirtz, okay with Nazis, like working with a literal Nazi. Like this man worked for Hitler. What the fuck, Heinz? Why are you okay with this? And also the other villains are okay with it. Like I think Venom's in that. Like Eddie Brock. I mean, that seems a bit too much even for him. Like, why are so many people okay with Nazis? I know I watched this as a kid. Like, there was a Marvel Superhero Squad show, and it's just a bunch of villains teaming up against a bunch of heroes, yeah, 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 yeah. And I vaguely remember, was there an episode? I think there was an episode that featured the Red Skull, and I know that there were episodes that featured Doctor. Actually, wait, was Doctor Doom in the same episode? I think Doctor Doom was in the same episode as the Red Skull. And like, I mean, obviously Magneto consistently hates Red Skull because he's a fucking Nazi, and Magneto is a Holocaust survivor. But like, Doctor Doom, they don't talk about this very much, but I'm 90% sure that Doctor Doom is shown to be Romani consistently. Like, Doctor Doom, your people were killed during the Holocaust. Why are you working with a Nazi? And like Doctor Doom also worked with Magneto, and like Magneto, buddy, find different superhero friends. I'm just rambling about this. So that's that. And after that, I have a dramatic video about Alice is missing. Not to be confused with Alice is dead. Half the time when I'm talking about this to myself, I call it Alice is dead, which is a different thing. It's like a podcast by the Welcome to Night Vale guys. I watched like one episode of it, but never watched the rest of it. Not because it's bad, because I didn't have time. I should check it out. But yes, on Alice is Missing, which I'm describing how this game works and my experience with it, and how it's just such a good tabletop role-playing game. And then there's a twice a year what I'm doing is updating my JoJo fanfic, and I'm getting that done. And then I've been off and on working on a RPG just in my spare time, a little RPG Maker game. I'm close to done with it, and I did a little work on it this week, and I'm hoping like by the start of next month to have a big chunk of it done. Like, I did a ton of work on Day of Apotheosis. I finally got the New Game Plus working. I fixed a ton of bugs. There were a few quests that straight didn't work, but I fixed them all. Like, I had to put that game development on pause. I put it on pause multiple times because I had to work on other things. I put it on pause while I was working on the Disney video essay, but when I went back to it, I'm like, oh, there isn't much left with this. I can get this done in a few months' time, even if I'm only putting in a few hours of work a week because I'm so busy. Like, this is completely doable. I've just been pushing it off and being distracted, but I can get this game done, and I do think that it's a good game, and I gotta get it done. And also, finally, the big thing I'm working on now is ranking all of Batman's plans to murder his friends, and its sequel, ranking all of Batman's plans to kill Superman, where I go over all of Batman's plans to just fight and kill other superheroes. I explain it in the script that well, technically these aren't supposed to be plans to kill people, but also, yes, they are. Like in Justice League Doom, Batman's plan to non-lethally incapacitate Superman is to shoot him in the chest with a kryptonite bullet, and that doesn't sound non-lethal to me, Bats. That sounds like murder. That sounds like you're gonna kill your best friend. Like, this is why he's your only friend. How do fucking trainer cards work? Like, are they government issued IDs? Why does Silver have one? I thought he was like a runaway orphan abandoned by Giovanni. Like, he's not an officially recognized league challenge trainer. Or actually, I wasn't even starting out my Pokemon journey. I wasn't supposed to. This was like me going on a errand for Professor Elm. Why do I have a trainer card? This whole thing's a messy. And oh, look, it's the cop who's really dumb and threatening me. ACAB, am I right? So what loser insult should I give to this guy? I'm 24 years old. Today I sat in a work meeting about my 401k. Anyway, I didn't even have room for the E. That's fine. That's fine. Yes, Mystery Egg. It's a baby Togepi. I do wonder, is the in universe like, oh, we don't know how Pokemon breed and we've never seen it. Is that something, or is that something they're just telling you because you're 11? I don't know. Do I have to talk to mom again before I leave, or can I just go do the catching tutorial? I actually think I could have just done the catching tutorial. Um, yeah, I'm fine with her storing money. I mean, it's annoying, but like that's the only way you can get a choice scarf, and I think the type berries are good. So anyway, the Batman murder his friends. I did all the like early 2000s stories about this. Like I had Justice League Doom and JLA The Tower of Babel, which is, I mean, that's 2010, but it's an adaptation of early 2000s, and I had Hush and the OMAC Project. And then in part two, I've got all of Frank Miller's stuff, which meant I got to read a bunch of Frank Miller's stuff again. And honestly, my hot take, I changed the catching tutorial so that I know that this is the modified ROM, by the way. It is minorly changed so the trade evolutions work. Also, I think I turned on running shoes indoors and fastest text and lowercase Pokemon names, if you're curious as to why that was a hypno. But trainer Pokemon are all unchanged. And so are wild Pokemon, like this Hoot Hoot, who I is going to name uh Dorizelian. Did I name have I named I don't that sounds familiar, but it's fine. Blacked out when you brought up Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons, woke up only to be met with YouTube viewer colon mental breakdown at 2:30 time code. But seriously, this was really fun. Excellent analysis, and bless you for watching the direct to DVD Disney sequels too. Braver than any U.S. Marine. Down with the monarchy. I agree with that comment. You, hold on, I closed it. I need that name. Dorizelian. What they're talking about is, first off, I briefly mentioned, hey, remember Rise of the Brave Tangled Dragons? I don't have anything to say on that. Just that was a thing that existed, which was this weird Tumblr fanfiction community with crossovers between animated movies in the early 2010s. And I comment on that when I start talking about Tangled. But anyway, they're saying that they fell asleep around then, and then they were woken up by a segment in when I'm talking about Frozen, where it is. I'm glad that that went across properly because this was the first video I had monetization for, because I decided I'm putting more than 100 hours into this. I would like to get a little back, and I got a whole $13 out of it, which is very nice. A whole $13, maybe more in the future. But anyway, um, there's a bit where I talk about how Alan Tudyk has been in so many Disney movies, and how I reveal that is a parody of the Hello Zep scene from Saw, which is at the end of every Saw movie, they have this scene where a character just suddenly reveals everything, and it's like da na na da na na da 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 da, and this music, but it's me singing it. It's like me. It's not the original music because that would have gotten the video demonetized, and that's the thing I have to um, worry about if I want to make any money from YouTube. I don't expect to make a little, but just like, ooh, I can get like a nice meal out of this video I put a lot of work into. Sounds nice. And anyway, what was I saying? I had a point to all this. Oh, what I find interesting is they call the Hello Zep parody, um, YouTube viewer, what did they word it? YouTube viewer colon mental breakdown, which is a Homestuck reference, which admittedly, I think of Homestuck before I think about Saw when I hear Hello Zep, because there's a bit in Homestuck where they just play Hello Zep over a plot twist, and it's a parody of the Saw movies. I mean, it makes sense because there's several Homestuck characters who are just flat out Saw parodies. And hold on one second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. This is Pupov Kitty, who is commenting on my Dave Strider video essay. Thank you so much for this video essay. I am once again reminded why I'm insane about no, why I'm insane. Yeah, that's good grammar. I don't know why that's weirding me out about the Strider brothers. Like, I know that Dave is fandom favorite and all that, but there's a reason that he's fandom favorite. It's because he's funny and goes on weird tangents. Also, fucking hell, I now remembered that when I first read Homestuck and was 13, I thought he was cool, as does everyone when they're 13 and reading Homestuck. And I picked up his typing quirk. After 6 years, I still fucking type like this sucker, goddammit. Yeah, that does bring up an interesting point that I mentioned. Everyone thinks Dave's cool when they read Homestuck and are 13. I first read Homestuck when I was 13 and thought Dave was cool. And this person's also like, yeah, I thought Dave was cool because I was 13. That that's surprisingly accurate, and it's kind of a shame I didn't get the Geodude and instead got the Rattata. I guess I could have planned my routes by going to the one north of Cherry Grove first. But anyway, what I was saying is, I had to read a bunch of Frank Miller's work for this Batman video essay, and it struck me The Dark Knight Returns hasn't aged as well. It is so much, it is infinitely better than Strikes Again or All Star Batman and Robin. But there are flaws in it that become more apparent when you have read Frank Miller's later work, where you start to analyze it through a more political lens because of his batshit fucking atrocious political views that he revealed in later times. You start to notice things like, oh wait, is the fact that this psychologist is like an idiot and a loser just a joke and part of the plot, or is it Frank Miller making a sincere statement that he believes about psychologists, which is kind of fascist? And maybe it's a stretch, but a whole thing in that, The Dark Knight Returns is very clearly this very right wing book, and it really struck me how much that's true as I was rereading it. Like, the book heavily criticizes Ronald fucking Reagan. See, I should have done this before I did the North one, because then I would get a Geodude, which would be nice for Faulkner. It mocks Ronald Reagan for not being bloodthirsty enough and not doing enough to massively expand the U.S. nuclear arsenal. And, there are moments of The Dark Knight Returns that are really good. I'm focusing on this in this video through Batman and Superman's relationship. And Frank Miller at one point knew how to write Superman, where he's kind to Batman. That scene where they meet in civilian clothes and they talk, and Batman's like, "May the best man win." That is Superman, where he's like, "I don't want to fight you. You're my friend. Please stop this." That I like. And at the end, it's a really nice Superman moment where he lets Batman go because he's only fighting Batman because he's being forced to. That's a good little moment. I'm pretty sure you can get a Weedle. I don't want a Weedle, but I'm gonna get one anyway. Um, but then you contrast that with all of his later Superman stuff, where Superman is just an irredeemable asshole who is easily manipulated and just goes on stupid, angry tirades about, "Oh, Batman, you make us look bad." Frank Miller was a guy who was always kind of a dick below the surface, but after 9/11, he kind of became a fascist, and just the fact all of those bad things below the surface came to the forefront to the point where it makes his earlier stuff actually kind of hard to read. And hold on, I'm looking this up. And the other thing that struck me is when I first read All Star Batman and Robin, I thought it was the stupidest, worst thing I'd ever read. I'm rereading it. It is, but I do think there's one part that is very good because it goes over the line. Oh, you can't catch bugs at night. I will You can't catch bugs at night. So, I guess there's only one thing to do because I record these on Friday nights, and that is to adjust my date and time settings real quick. Hold on, saving a lot of data, don't turn off power. Yeah, this is a bit long, but starting a new one, and I had a lot to talk about. Didn't even bitch about my employer, like, not giving me vital information, or the AIs. I had a lot more to talk about that I didn't. But anyway, the very best part of All-Star Batman and Robin is the fight with Green Lantern, because it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, and I'm talking about, all of Batman. Ooh, Batman, he can beat anyone in a fight because he's, like, super smart. But in the Dark Knight, oh wow, that just snapped instantly. But in All-Star Batman and Robin, Green Lantern's like, hey Batman, I'd like to talk to you about the fact that you're a violent thug who, just commits violent crimes and hurts people, and, like, they're going to shut us all down. Like, I don't think that's very good. And Batman's like, oh yeah, how about you say that to my face? But first, I need 12 hours of prep time, okay? Can you leave and come back in 12 hours? Like, he needed 12 hours of. He ran away for 12 hours. If Hal Jordan wanted to beat up Batman, he could have done it in the instant, because he's just better in a fight than Batman. But Batman's like, give me 12 hours. So he runs away, and then he has Robin spend 11 fucking hours painting an apartment so that it's all yellow. And just Green Lantern walks in, and Batman is sitting there looking smug because he thinks he's smart. Oh, I got one over on you, Hal. I'm the smart one. Sitting there, yellow paint in his beard. That's not gonna wash out. That's a lot of scrubbing. His beard is full of yellow paint. He's sitting there painted completely yellow, and he's holding a fucking pitcher of lemonade. This is so fucking stupid. This version of Batman is such a pathetic fucking loser. Of course everyone hates him. Of course the Justice League doesn't want anything to do with him. Fine, youngster Joey, I will give you my number, and I will only give you my number. Like, Superman is such a goddamn loser in stories written by Frank Miller that it's hilarious. He is the best Batman writer because no one else. Like, you think Grant Morrison could have a stupid fucking story where Batman paints himself yellow and offers lemonade and it's portrayed as a cool moment? No. No. Only Frank Miller understands Batman that well. And anyway, that comment that I've had up is in The Destiny of Dave Strider. If you multiply, because in that one I say if the video gets 20,000 views, then I'll make a Terezi video. If you multiply this video's view count by 5, then that means you have to make the Terezi video. There are 5 letters in your first name. There are at least 5 acts in Homestuck, maybe more. There's like 20. I have 5 fingers on my right hand and also my left. Coincidence? I think not. Terezi video. When? Give me the views first. I'm regretting that, but I do need the views to make the video to justify it to myself. Okay, and I think that's where I'm going to end this. Thank you for watching, hearing me ramble about the Batman and the cold and my channel. I don't know how to end this.